Blowing the fire. And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. With me, I have Nick Krafkus, who's actually wondering about my great thumbnail of me blowing fire. Then I also have Jedi Master Tuck here, who's actually just looking down at his keyboard. I don't know what he's doing, but anyways, he's here. But yeah, we're here to talk about House of the Dragon, Episode 7, Red Sowing. So anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get on with the review. It's good to have everybody here. Let's do it. Hey guys.
What happens behind the cover pick stays behind the cover pick, sir. You don't do
Not
that.
anymore,
you
sir.
Don't do that. You don't do
Yes,
that. That's just horrible YouTube etiquette. What's up, man?
Hey, I make up my own rules here, sir. I make up my own.
Your show, I can't. That's fine. That's fine.
Exactly. But anyways, guys, it's good to actually have everyone here for House of the Dragon, Episode 7, Red Sowing. I really have to say a lot happened in this episode that I really enjoyed. With this episode, we're actually getting into the last episode of House of the Dragon. If you haven't seen the leaked images or the leaked videos from TikTok, you might actually be surprised. If not, you're a piece of shit. Anyway,
pretty much.
Yeah.
But
and I'm not on either one of them. So
this episode had everything, though.
It had everything I needed in an episode, and it didn't slow down at all for this. It continues right where we left off at, where we actually have Adam coming in with the dragon and Rhaenyra meeting him down at the beach. And she's like geeked out. She's like, he's basically the Obi-Wan to her Kenobi of like, look, you're the guy for me. You're the one who's supposed to be of Targaryen blood.
You have this dragon. How do you have this dragon? Do I need to fight you? Do I need to hug you? What is going on here? And then he is instantly like, no, I'm one of you. Like, I'm here to serve you. Like, you are my queen. This dragon chose me. Who am I to turn down the gods? Again, we're referencing these mortal beings as gods. And now Adam is fully Team Black. And, Rhaenyra believes now something that she thought impossible to be real, which is the fact that someone else can fly a dragon.
Right, and that's something that I really have to say that I like how he pledges his life to her. It's like, hey, look, I'm in this with you. I'll bow my knee to you. I have respect for you. I'm ready to go in all the way. And if I was someone that was not related or anything like that, I would definitely be afraid of this guy, because you don't know if someone just went on ahead and just randomly got the dragon or anything like that, like Aemon did. But in this case, the dragon chose him. And I like, it's just me, or does Sea Smoke just seem like he has that little clout about him? Like, he's like, yeah, I did that. Like he looks all proud in the background.
Yeah, for sure. Because you hear about, like, in the first season, like, a few of the daughters tried to get Sea Smoke and they couldn't. And then eventually, obviously.
Well, he even seems to kind of react when she's like, "Do I have to kill you?" And he's just like he does, just like a quick, go ahead and try.
The cinematography too. I mean, I felt like I was watching a Tarantino movie for a second, where it's just like, stand off. We got our guns out,
right,
ready to go.
Sure. Oh, Draconis was on the tip of both their tongues. So
yeah,
I don't know how it's been on his, but for sure.
What do you even say?
Yeah. Yeah,
but
it was a cool moment too, because you get all the time he's been trying to urge his brother to take on like bigger things and be bigger in this world, and this is this basically just falls in his lap randomly. It's a cool moment for him for sure. And he's immediately like, no, I'm with you. We're cool. Like, this is what I've wanted. Like, chill.
Didn't steal the car. I found the car.
Right, the car found me. I didn't choose. It's like I didn't choose the dragon life. The dragon life chose me. But then we actually go into this other scene in King's Landing in the Kingswood. Grand Maester Arwyl treats Alicent's superficial arm wound inflicted during the recent riot. Disponent, after being removed from the small council, Alicent seeks solace in the Kingswood, taking one Kingsguard, Sir Rickard Tharon, for protection and assistance. They make camp, and Alicent says she may not return to King's Landing. Alicent spends time floating in a lake for reflection and contemplation. In the courtyard, Larys observes as Aemon sentences 2 King's guards to lifetime servitude at the wall for formatting the riots. Lord Jasper Wilde approaches Larys and says that Sea Smoke has a new but unknown rider. Considering his unverified rumor, Larys suggests that Jasper withhold telling Aemon against Arwyl's advice that Aegon needs more rest. Larys pushes him to associate the king's recovery despite the physical extension causing pain. So let's talk about the fact that with Alicent and the Grand Maester, and then we'll go into the other stuff. But now she's on the run from her own kingdom because of the fact now she's in danger, Will Robinson, because of what's going on with her son, Aemon, dethroning her from the position of where she was in. And now she feels like she's in danger. So welcome to the club is all I have to say. Now she knows how Rhaenyra felt having to get out of that kingdom.
It feels like a bit of trauma too, right? So that huge riot happens. She gets physically wounded in the riot. And between the people in the streets rising up and her son that's in power, boosting her from her role and now becoming a direct threat, essentially. This is her moment to run, and she's lost everything. So she goes to the woods. And I loved how they set up the shots where it's like, okay, the whole time you think, she's coming out here to do something, nefarious, maybe end it all, get out of it, because she's clearly depressed and not happy with how things are coming for her. There's not really anything she can do about it at this point. But then you see kind of her awakening, right? While she's floating, her eyes brighten up. And I think she has her next move plotted now. Whatever it's going to be, definitely going to be impactful, right? Like when she does make a move, it usually matters.
Right. Thing is, though, what is she going to do? Like, unless she's going to try and get not Aemon, but Aegon out of there somehow and try to protect her son, or if she's just going to go ahead and just try and take down Aemon herself.
I think she's going to go to Otto.
That's actually a good point, though. That is her go-to. Yeah.
They're trying to get Otto back to King's Landing, but he keeps declining it, saying that it's too dangerous because the roads are unprotected on both sides.
Yeah.
Which is true.
I think it shows a lot about where she's at too right now. She's feeling the impact of now this decision that she's went along with this whole time. And look, I don't like the decisions Alicent's made, and I think she's really the cause of all of this overall. But she's not a stupid person. Like she knows what's going. Like she knows what's going on. She knows how to plot. And in that moment, like you said, when she's in that water, she immediately has an idea. She immediately knows what she's going to try to do next. And like I said, I agree with you. I think Otto's a part of it, and I definitely think that I don't know how she's going to do it, but I think she has to take Aemon out somehow if she can.
And I think that's up to Otto, though. I think that Otto would be the one to have to do it, but it's about how does he get into the kingdom? How does he earn Aemon's trust, and can he do it?
So the fates of Aemon and several other characters are pretty well known. Don't know that Alicent's going to play a role in that. Now, what she could do is kind of encourage him to Harrenhal for that ultimate showdown with Daemon. Maybe
I think that's
his ability somehow.
I think he's going to go there either way out of pride. So
it'd be amazing.
Honestly.
But I already know for a fact that Aemon's not going to die this season at all because of stuff that Joffrey pretty much spoiled for everybody that's a House of the Dragon fan. So I think it would be too early to kill off Aemon, but I wouldn't be surprised if he.
No, I'm not saying it's a part of it, but I'm saying that might be part of her plan. At some point.
I'm just speculating on what you're saying.
If it's not going to, I'm just saying that could be part of her plan.
To keep him out. It would be Aegon, who we know doesn't.
Well,
but let's see.
The
Jason's in. Hey, Jason.
Yo.
What up, mate?
How's it going, dude?
Just got home. Good.
Welcome, man. We were just now talking about the fact that Allison might actually
I'm
Be the-
here and I'm still listening.
okay. She might actually come in and get Otto to help her.
Mute.
I don't know
And-
about that. This is-
What's your theory? We all kind of laid on.
Yeah, I
ours.
would like to know.
Yeah.
I think Otto's gonna kiss ass. I think Otto's gonna get on Aemond or whoever's in charge and try and make sure his seat is solidified. I think he's always looked personally. I think he's always looked at Alicent as a means to an end and as a means to power.
Mhm.
And she is no longer a means to an end. She's no longer a means to power. His means to power is through creating relations with his grandsons. So I don't think she has as much use to him as she thinks she does.
So why is
She
he not
doesn't
going?
have
Why is he not going to King's Landing then?
I mean, that part I think he may be defecting.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think he might be defecting. But if we're talking about in regards to him going to King's Landing, I think it's just, I don't think if he does, I don't think it's to save Alicent or to work with Alicent. I think it's to make sure, make sure his grandsons and the whatever's left of the High Tower reign is still kind of protected.
Right, but it's
makes
Aemon
sense.
that's been requesting him to come, and
Yes.
he's turning him down because it's dangerous.
Yes. And like I said, and I think he may be, I think him saying it's dangerous is a cop out. I think he is going to, I personally, like I said, I think he's going to defect.
I think so too. I think that actually makes more sense though, Jason, because of the fact that he wants to protect Aegon probably and from Aemon, because he knows how Aemon is. He's very dangerous. But my thing is this: over or under, do you think that Otto would try to earn Aemon's trust and to find a way to kill Aemon by gaining his trust, so that way therefore the walls are now open to the point where maybe he might be able to take him down.
I don't think Otto is the type of person to actually do it. He may have someone do it potentially, but I also think Otto is more just, he is the sounding voice in any official war room. He is the sounding voice in any official political talk. Otto Hightower has served the king more in a political standpoint than he has in times of war. So it's just, I think he offers a lot of insight on how to make a kingdom look good or run well. But during war times, it's extremely hard to see how Otto might react because he's never had to be a hand in the midst of wartime.
That's true.
It's fair. They did have peace for a long time, so I mean, it's
now
fair.
we got Sir Christian lobbing heads.
Yeah, exactly. You have Sir Christian, who is like the literally tail end of Otto, where he is just a battle-hardened veteran who is just like, I am going to show you the might of the king by showing you how much force I can bring and destruct onto you.
It's kind of funny the parallels between him and Daemon too, because you get a bit of that throughout, this season, especially where Daemon's will is being tested as a king potentially, and then he has to make decisions like executing people and doing kingly stuff that maybe isn't so nice, and making the peace, and it makes him question what he really wants.
Right. So now we have that other scene that I was mentioning about Lares, though, too, where he was observing Aemon's sentences to King's guards to lifetime servitude at the wall and performing the riots and stuff like that. So my thing is this: so you have Lares who's actually trying to be there for Aemon, not for Aemon.
Aegon.
Aegon, thank you. For Aegon. and he's trying. I don't know if he's in it for himself or if he's actually just generally cares for Aegon, but his heart's in it to actually try to help him.
Potentially, I think more so. Yes, it is that he feels for him like one cripple to another, but I also think like we have seen Larys has no loyalty, whether it be his father, his family, because it's like I'm sure his family kind of looked at him sideways for being crippled, but it also seems like he had full reign and full power still. So it's like. I think he's connecting to Aegon on a like cripple to cripple level, but he's also always out for himself. It's almost like a Littlefinger trait where I don't think anything Larys does isn't for his own personal gain.
So the production team has talked about that too, actually, with that scene in particular. It's a combination of him feeling the opportunity to have power over the king, combined with the sense of urgency mixed with Aegon's request for him to help him, because he recognizes how dangerous times are and how shit is literally days from hitting the fan.
Well, yeah, and it's like Larys would be the only person to kind of understand the scrutiny or the kind of oversight he'd be being a crippled.
And the
you know what I mean?
Go through to survive.
But like, I think, I mean, personally, I think Aegon has it 10 times worse because it's like Larys had to deal with this problem since birth. At a young age, he had to deal with this and try and figure out how to adapt and cope. So he was able to grow up with it. Whereas Aegon is someone who has had everything thrown at his feet, basically, and has just been able to coast and fight wars and just do whatever he'd like. But now he is faced with this compensating role of trying to now be a king as well as a cripple.
Right. And that brings me out to my next thing.
This is what it all comes down to. Aegon's feet are still intact. They were not burned.
Dude, you're right.
That's what it comes down to. Larys is all about the feet.
What if they were burned? That's actually what does it for
right. And I guess you don't get that much of a deal going on with Larys then.
He just turns out to be like, ooh, extra crispy?
How do you like your toes today, sir?
Down to. Larys is headed for the feet.
But my thing is this though too. I think it's about strengthening him up to the point where it works out for his own self. It's like because he knows he's going to be shit SOL. He's going to be shit out of luck.
Yeah, he can't control Aegon or Aemon like he can control Aegon, or not control him, but at least influence him.
Right, but if you look at how Larys is looking at Aemon over everybody else, he's like, sooner or later, my time is going to end with Aemon killing me, probably.
Well, I was going to say,
so I need to do something.
Oh, that other dude too is going to throw him under the boat. What is his name? The one that tells him about it?
Oh
yeah, the one that tells him about the dragon. Yeah.
He's going to throw him under the bus immediately. He told me it wasn't a big deal. He wasn't hearing anything. He's your master of whispers.
Well, that's Larys' first real mistake, right? So now the stakes that were already pretty high for him with Aemon, because he was the Lord of Whispers for Aegon, not for Aemon. Aemon's going to clear house at some point, and he runs the risk of not making the cut, right? Which point would make him a dead man, essentially.
Because that dude's not losing his head for Larys. There's no way.
No.
So he's gonna immediately be like, "I told him you're master of whispers," and he was just like, "Don't worry about it. Ain't a big deal."
It's gonna be 50 times worse because now that he flew Vhagar over, and obviously this is jumping a little bit to the end of the episode, but he knows that they have all of these dragons now, and he's completely outgunned.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah. From here on out, like you said, jumping forward a little bit, but we know that Vhagar is not a big threat anymore when you have as many dragons as they are commanding.
Yeah, Vhagar almost lost to Meleys.
Who was just like, yes, she wasn't as big, but she was the biggest dragon we had therefore, and now we have a dragon bigger than Meleys.
That's why Daemon and her should have went and just took his ass out when they had the chance to.
Oh, Daemon's plan the entire time was exactly what they should have done.
Yeah.
And the proof's in the pudding because it's what Aemon and Sir Christian Cole decided to do.
Yep. It's exactly right. Yep.
And they end up losing 2 dragons because of it. And for a moment they were that much weaker.
And I get why she didn't go. I get I backed her in that episode, but he was right.
Best defense, good offense.
Not to mention, I agree with everybody. Get him. Why won't he just leave? Like, why won't he just leave? I'm so.
Me too. I am done. If you're not. Look,
listen.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, that's the one thing I've been bitching about, like, the whole entire time he's been there. It's like, if you're not doing anything to structure the character, and he's just there, and he's getting all these visions with his brother and stuff like that, and you're not doing anything with that character, then what are you doing?
We know all this stuff about him. Like, now, everything they talk about in these dreams or whatever the hell they are, we know all of it. We know all this about him already.
My thing
what we didn't know was what we find out in this last one. So when he's holding the crown, he's like, it's heavy and it crushes the person who wears it.
Yes.
He asks him, do you still want this? And he pauses and he looks at his brother, and what he really wanted was to be loved by his brother and be included by his brother his whole life. Like, he never actually wanted the crown.
I agree with Nick right here. I think this episode is going to be his turning point as a character and the growth of his character. This is going to be where I think finally, like I've said earlier, he needs to just fall in line and be the dog that he fucking is. And just go.
How dare you disrespect him?
Listen. He is the dog on the chain. He needs to go and be the ferocious person that he is, but under someone else's thumb, because we all have seen what he does in his own fruition. Like when he has just full reign of just his actions, what gets done?
I agree. He needs to be on a leash. I don't disagree with you on that. I'm just joking with you. No,
I think he would be great as like a backup, because that's what you need. You need somebody like that sitting next to Rhaenyra on the throne, because otherwise, you're gonna have people that's gonna try and take advantage of her and stuff like that too. And I agree with Nick though on this though. I know I've been bitching about the fact that Daemon's been he's been in this whole entire thing the whole entire time. But that one particular scene where his brother's holding the crown and everything is like, do you still want this?
No,
do you still want the headaches of everything that goes with it? Because this is what you're gonna have. Look at me. Look at how I am. Do you really want to be like this?
But I also agree it could have come a lot sooner.
Yeah, it could have. It should have.
For sure. Especially because those that have read ahead know what's coming, and there could have been a lot more action that could have happened in between that. But
I think now he has the Riverlands united, and now he's going to come back with a huge force for Rhaenyra.
The Riverlands, the point,
but I just hate when they do this with these characters, because the first season built all of these characters up. That yes, they have their flaws. Yes, they all are different in many ways. But none of these people are stupid. Like, none of them are actually stupid. And now we are getting some of the dumbest decisions out of these people. And that's what pisses me off.
What decisions?
Daemon would understand by now that Rhaenyra is the leash that he needs. And that he still has the power.
Not necessarily, though, in a sense, because he's blind to his own.
Yeah, he's arrogant.
He's
very arrogant. Fly,
and especially
and claim king.
And let's be real here. I think the fact that he was seeing Aemond, the fact that he knows that Aemond is now sitting in that seat and basically being almost a mini version of himself, that had to have made him 10 times worse in trying to be I need to sit in that seat. I am the rightful king. These people are just imposters.
Yeah, but we again in this scene we find out that it's not the power that he really craves.
We find out in this scene.
Well, we do, because you get that interaction with his brother, and then you go to the next scene where he's taking the army of the river.
And that's what I'm saying is if if you don't have this scene, does Daemon realize that he is not wanting the crown, actually?
Had Daemon not had that conversation with his brother, that day probably goes drastically different, and the Riverlands is not aligning.
He's still the king regent. He can still make decisions.
Yes, he's the king regent, but he is not the king. He does not have final say. Yes, Rhaenyra can Rhaenyra can listen to him, and Rhaenyra can just continue to take his aid. But at the end of the day, it is not his word that is final. It is it is his queen, his.
Also, a big thing we're kind of missing out too. He's been inside this castle now for weeks, right? And it's fucking with his brain hardcore. So he could have these mental lapses going on where, because he's just not sleeping, he's not thinking right. And and a great example of this is actually with Lord Tully, when he's like, though I disagree with the Prince King, insulting him to his face, and he gets all mad about it, like, watch your tongue. And then the kid's like, shut up, like, get with the program. I'm giving you your army, but I need to have my power too. Like, Daemon pre-Harrenhal probably recognizes that and goes with the picture, or goes with the story. But this one, for a second, thought he was being insulted when in actuality he was being used for his own game.
Oh, it definitely was being used in that moment.
Yeah.
But
that's the brashness of him. That's just who he is as a person. He's gonna just lash out. We know that.
And that's the thing, though, is like, I think he needed to have these moments and these visions. As much as I wish it was sped up, I think he needed to have these moments and these visions to come to terms with the fact that he is not the powerful person. Like, yes, he is strong, he is great in battle, but he is not the person that can just be like, oh, what you say is null and void, and guess what? Kill all these people I don't want.
Well, not only that, but I mean, no one's taking him seriously.
Like he's had these moments before in the show, and they just keep going back to this like trope of him instead of just letting him grow. Like, he's had these moments before.
But I think this is where he grows.
No, again, he can't keep,
because the fact that he goes and kills the person that helped him connect the Riverlands, I think that is growth in itself.
Negative growth.
Knowing that negative growth, yes, but I still think it's growth in itself, where it's like, okay, in order to actually make peace amongst these people, I need to betray this person who actually helped me do it, but it's the only thing that's going to do it. And it's like, put him in the position of having to make a hard decision. And I think that's where he realizes, I do not want to be in this position to make those decisions.
But I'm very quickly going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he'll never take against the point to kill someone.
I just don't know how the crying wolf like storytelling approach works. Like, characters that do this just aren't interesting. That just constantly have this, but it's the same growth. Like, if it was different each time, it'd be one thing. But he's literally had this conclusion many times, and then all of a sudden he just forgets it, and he has to relearn.
Where else has he had this conclusion?
It's like watching Groundhog's Day over and over again. But in House of the Dragon,
at least the way they have portrayed him, he has had this revelation at least a couple of times. When his brother died, he had the conversation with Rhaenyra. Then when he married her, he had the conversation with her.
He has teammates that he's been fighting his entire life.
He has had the conversations, but at the end of every single one of those conversations,
the growth of the character is being able to say out loud.
At the end of every one of these conversations, he still has yet to accept the fact that he is not supposed to be king. And I think
because no matter how many times that he tells them, you need to bow down to me, they're not taking him seriously to the point, and he keeps on telling him, you need to bow down to me, I'm the king. And it's like, you're not the king, you're nothing.
Yeah. He needs
I think finally he is having.
Think about it too. In real life, you've got people, everyone does in their life, who just fail to really grow as individuals and have the same demons and the same problems and the same bullshit you have to deal with. So, he could just be one of those people that honestly has struggled mentally with what he wants his entire life, who he is, because he's always the second brother. So he's got to be more outlandish and louder to get attention. And over the years, that's worn on him. And now he's got all of these demons from his actions, like getting a child killed and, you know, doing all sorts of other terrible things through the process of becoming who he is today. And now he's like being faced with that judgment.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think we're finally seeing a Daemon who is coming to terms with the things he's done.
Therefore, he might be
instead of an intervention.
Yeah. No,
right.
Again, I think they've stretched it out too far in this season.
And I agree. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying that I don't think...
It just feels like it's just so redundant at this point.
And I'm just saying I don't think we get the growth that we have finally seen from him in this episode if all of the things haven't happened.
Mm-hmm.
So now
I feel like that growth has happened like 4 times. I really do.
But at the end, even like you said, the moments where he has had those growths, at the end of each one of those conversations, he is still left thinking and feeling that I need to be the king. It is my rightful place to be the king, and it is my rightful fucking destiny to be this king. Whereas finally now, I think he is coming to realize that, oh shit, being the king means a lot more than I actually anticipated.
Heavy is the crown.
Yes, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Right. So let's go with this now. So in the Veil, Renee escorts Rhaenyra's sons, Aegon and Viserys, as they depart from the Eyrie to travel to Pentos. Rhaenyra secretly leaves the group to track the wild dragon. So there's not really much to go on as far as that goes in my notes.
As far as that goes, was confirmed.
Yeah,
that's pretty much all we got.
Yeah, it's the sheep sealer, and it seems like she's going to be the one to ride it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
which is fine. So, don't add a new character. Give a character who doesn't have a dragon. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we already talked about the stuff that happened at Harnell, so we can.
Yep.
Now, what about Lord Corlys and Adam? Or both his sons, really.
I mean,
Dragonstone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is actually where Rhaenyra returns with Adam and Sea Smoke, dismissing her counsel's concerns about a low-born dragon rider. Mm-hmm. He instructs Adam to be trained in a dragon ring and tutored in High Valyrian. She is optimistic that the other dragon riders can be found. Viserys says that rather than researching noble houses for Targaryen descendants, to instead search King's Landing for dragon seeds with thicker blood ties. Rhaenyra occurs, but Daenerys challenges her plan, arguing that bastard dragon riders could threaten Targaryen legitimacy in his own succession, revealing that he knows Sir Harwin Strong was his biological father. Rhaenyra says that dragon seed riders deserve respect. Now, they're talking about bastards, right?
Yes.
Well, all her sons are bastards. So
not all.
It makes
but
most of them are bastards. Yeah. So it makes sense to actually have bastard riders for dragons and her.
So and this is the scene too that the book readers are going to take some issue with, because in the books, my understanding is Jaehaerys is the one who pushes this idea.
No, but it wasn't even. He was the one who pushed the idea even in this.
Well, and then he gets all pissy about it, right? Because
that's what I'm like. I'm a bit confused on why he. I think it's really like a bit bullshit, because it's like.
It was a pandering move to make it so that not to be woke bashing at all, but the two female characters can come with the big idea that's going to save the day, right?
But see, that's
what happened. They literally changed the story.
But did she? But did she really? Because in theory, maybe, but in practice, she just killed a whole bunch of fucking people that maybe.
Oh, totally. No, I'm not. I'm just talking about who championed the idea to do it, and instead of having her son, who's the heir, bring this brilliant idea save them and deliver them.
Oh no, it was definitely his idea, and then all of a sudden he's just like, why? And it's like, wait, what?
And that's the thing, is like, it was his idea. It was all about finding these people that were of the bloodline but weren't officially Targaryens. And it's like,
I think it's more for
you
him.
found
See, for
one.
me, it's more for him. It's more about the hierarchy. He is a prince, so therefore, he has earned it, even as a bastard. Where nobody else
think
has
it's
earned
more
it
You
because
can
they're
kind of
not.
hear exactly what he's feeling in the moment.
Yeah,
He
it's
says,
classism.
you know, no one questions my rise to the throne because I have a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But now that isn't the case. Like anybody,
Right, and it's not special anymore. Yeah.
Right, because it's not part of the bloodline of only those people in the bloodline can actually ride the dragon. Now it's like anybody can be a dragon rider.
Yeah,
So
it's almost like you shouldn't put like your teenage children in charge of really important adult things because they make stupid, childish decisions.
Now, thankfully, we learned that he's not entirely correct when just anybody can suddenly ride one.
Right. It can still be special, but you might be missing.
Right.
You might be burnt. But
so
you know,
the Adam side of the story, though, I think is just so fascinating, right? Because you have one kind of a stereotype built into the show, you know, black father who isn't there for his two sons, but now that his sons are, you know, becoming something of themselves, he's starting to get more involved in their lives, which is great. Like obviously you want that, but it's kind of an interesting trope that they went with those characters. But
I also think that I think Adam is handling it very well. I also, the only thing I think is weird is like he just was like completely decided like, oh yeah, I'm not going to even mention this to my brother real quick. It was just like, yeah, like my brother who has been taking care of me and everything, I'm just going to leave and, you know, the what's it called? Why can't I think of where they're from?
Hall.
Yes. I'm like, you're just going to leave that and then you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to Dragonstone and I'm just a dragon rider now.
Yeah. Well, I think they're both in Dragonstone right now.
Because it's like...
Now they are, yeah.
No. Well, oh yes, now.
Yeah.
But like at the beginning, Corlys tells him before they get there, like, oh yeah, your brother rode a dragon into Dragonstone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, what?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he didn't
I
care.
love when he asked him though, like, do you have any interest in riding a dragon? He's like, I'm of Salton Sea, which means he's going to become the heir of Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only logical choice at this point. I don't see anyone else becoming the lord of this nation unless it's Adam.
That's his oldest living son. He has the Valerian white hair, as I'm sure we'll see at some point.
Yeah.
My question is this though, too. What did you think of that one scene where Rhaenyra's son comes in and starts talking about her? You didn't, where she's basically said, you think that you would actually pick somebody of the same race to be my father, but you decided to sleep with somebody else that was a different race, pretty much.
He questioned why she never thought about if Lord Strong would be favored in the kids, meaning if they'd take after him.
Right. So what did you guys think about that little tidbit?
I mean, I just think also, like, listen, I think he's being a bit of a brat. I completely understand. Yes, you know, the situation, but everyone is completely understanding of it. Your mother has never once treated you differently. You are heir to the fucking Iron Throne. Like, I truly do not understand with being mad at her for protecting you.
I don't think it's so much he's mad at her. It's more he's projecting his fear onto her.
Teenager. Every teenager hates their parent trying to protect them.
Exactly. It's that adolescent age. Is like, I know what I'm doing, even though you don't know what you're doing.
But it's like, it's also, he gets pissy with her for this moment of, like, he gets pissy with her for trying to bring these bastard non-Targaryens into riding. And again, one, it was his idea. And two, dude, should you not be wanting to protect your rightful heir to the Iron fucking Throne?
Yes, but he says in this conversation, he says what it's about. It's not about that. It's about he knows he's a bastard, And him not being a dragon is special. So if all these people that are just peasants that aren't from a queen, a king, whatever, just start riding dragons, then what the hell? Then
but they are Targaryens, just like he is.
He feels special,
but he also feels like he's an outsider. Because
I get
of
it,
the fact.
but I think also growing up in
He's a
this world
kid.
is realizing you're not fucking special.
He's a child. You can't.
Like,
you don't get that special dragons participation trope.
Like, it's literally
why
it's
can't
like,
a 40-year-old man realize that he is fucking better off as the fucking dog and not the goddamn person walking the dog?
Because you are not, like, that's the thing.
He's a man
like,
child.
But you, like, and that's the thing. It's like all these people need to grow up. And I'm sorry. It's just like not everyone is special. Sometimes you just have to fucking fall into your role.
Exactly. They know. They won't.
But so now we go from that. We're also talking about the fact that when Viserys and Prince Daemon Targaryen, he desires to go to Dragonstone and claim a dragon, saying it will bring them rewards. A few dozen dragon seeds board boats organized by Alan and set all for Dragonstone. At Dragonstone, as Rhaenyra greets the dragon seeds, the dragon keepers denounce her decision to entrust small folk with dragons and exit the dragon pit. Rhaenyra summons Remitter, a dragon seed named Silver Denays, steps forward to try and claim him, but the dragon fatally burns him and unleashes a furious attack, killing dozens more, initially avoiding the dragon fire. Hugh boldly confronts Vermithor, stopping the dragon from killing a woman. Vermithor then accepts Hugh as his new rider. Ulf evades Vermithor's attack and escapes into the caverns. He analogy enters a lair and steps on a dragon egg. Silverwing awakens, but it decoils and quickly accepts him as her rider. So this reminds me of that whole entire thing with Stefan again, where basically, trying to see who the dragons are going to accept and seeing what's going to happen. At this point, though, I like how the producer said this at the very end of the episode. It's like she's trying to throw things at the wall and seeing if it sticks because she doesn't know if it's going to happen or not. So she's just theorizing. But while she's theorizing, she's actually burning half the small folk into.
But I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
I hate to be that person.
Did it work?
Yeah, she found the two riders for the dragons.
There's more than two dragons, though.
Well, you have an egg that hasn't even hatched
No,
yet.
there was only two dragons underneath there.
Yeah.
There was only two riderless dragons underneath there.
I thought there were more that they were...
there was only two, dude.
There was more in the world.
That's what I mean.
But they're not
but they didn't have access to those dragons. They'd have to hunt those dragons down and then try and do this.
I thought they were at other places. Like I thought they had places where they were.
No.
Okay, so that's what I.
It was just the two dragons. So basically,
like just how Sea Smoke and this other dragon in the Vale are just out in the world. Yeah. They're just out there. Like they would have to then go try and find them, track them down, and be like, "Hey, do you want to try this person?"
And it's like, no, don't want him.
I got you. No, I got you now. Okay.
Well, he's not going to be in House in the Dragon season 3.
I don't know. I just think the way she just kind of throws him in there is just freaking brutal. She knows
100%. No, she doesn't know.
No, she doesn't. She's just throwing things and seeing if it's
Adam is a clear reason why she thinks it might work. Like Adam, who is not of direct Targaryen descent, all of a sudden is now riding Sea Smoke and pledging his allegiance to her. Like, to her, this is like, oh shit, this is a sign from the gods. We might be on the right path.
So he has plot armor that he just can't be burned while he's standing on literally like a 7
Who has plot armor?
The dude that eventually rides him. He's just burning the entire platform.
They all drop down. They all drop down. They're not on that platform anymore. That's why they are end up being not saved, but they go down below that fucking observatory the moment shit goes crazy.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. It feels weird. That there's no, he didn't get burnt. The dragon was just burning everything randomly.
But is that not what fate is?
So it's magic.
I agree with Jason
like
on this.
We live in like we're talking about a world where dragons are here, and we're just like, yeah, no, it's not logical because the fire would have burned them.
Burn them all.
It's a dragon. Nothing is logical.
Burn them all. They all would have been dead before they fell.
And also, if that's the case, then Daenerys should have never lived.
Yep.
Right.
Fair enough.
Fucking idiot.
She walked out of the fire on fire. It was fucking I'm messing with you on that. Go ahead.
I know. But like I said, like I think this was the fact of Adam turning up was the reason why she full on sent it, but also
she threw like 40 people in there for sure.
Right? It wasn't 40.
It was like maybe 20.
It was maybe 20.
Okay. It felt like a lot of people. It felt like a lot.
I mean, 20 is still a lot to be fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For 18 of them to be consumed by dragons and dragon fire, that's still 2%. Yeah. That's,
dude, when that dragon was lighting them on fire and then eating them, that was the funniest thing.
Oh, yeah. Right. Nice.
now he's laughing about their deaths. Before he cared about them, now he's laughing his ass off.
Look, it was like a marshmallow on fire.
But I also think we have these moments where
it was funny.
Like we find, like, again, it's just affirming what we have always thought, where it's like if you come directly head on with these dragons and kind of show a bit of, I wouldn't say no fear, because the one dude was scared when the second dragon claimed him, but it was acceptance. I think that's probably the better word, is accepting the fact that you may die to this beast. Mm-hmm. And still being okay with it and being like, I accept the consequences. I accept and understand what being a dragon rider is, and it means I may be barbecued and eaten alive by my very own.
It's like
dragon.
respecting electricity. It's like I respect it.
Yeah.
But come on, man. It felt good him getting a dragon, because
it felt good
telling everybody that he is a dragon rider or should be a dragon rider because he's from the family and shit. And he actually got picked. That's pretty freaking cool.
It is. At first, I thought it was just like full of shit, you know? Like, at first, I thought, okay, this guy's full of shit. Like, this is basically someone saying that my uncle is Michael Jordan. That's basically what I thought that he was doing at first.
I knew this was what they were setting up. I said this from the beginning.
Oh, I did too, but I'm just saying, like, in the world, though, people are just like, oh, this dude's completely it's like he's completely full of shit. Yeah, I knew what they were setting up, but yeah.
The fact that, I mean, I think when everyone kind of forced him to go is when you kind of were like, all right, man, time to put your money where your fucking mouth is. He didn't want to go
at first, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Is he just making all this shit up? For a minute, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Because that's what I was thinking at first. I'm like, this guy has to be full of shit. I don't see it, but then you see what happens, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
But that could also be like, we don't know how many of those people were like, no, yeah, I'm a Targaryen for sure.
Well, plus we don't know how many of them are really out there, because, like she says, they come by the whorehouses pretty frequently. So the chances of them being a lot of them is pretty high.
Any whore could have had a child and just been like, yeah, no. Your father was a Targaryen. Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, you know.
And that's the other flip side, right? That's a cool story to tell your kid, right?
Before going to bed. Yeah, you're going to be a dragon rider someday?
Yeah, you could be anything you want, kid. You could be the next king. Yep. No,
you're such a good Targaryen.
It's true.
Once upon a time, I met a guy in a brothel.
In a whorehouse, and he had these long white hair.
Yeah, right.
And Guess what, Boo Boo? You get to actually be a dragon rider when you grow up. Oh, so I do, yeah.
If it's a bastard of a bastard, does that mean it doesn't have a chance of riding a dragon?
Well, we don't know who the one guy's father is.
Yeah.
So
we just know his mother was
you
a
know
whore.
Who that is, right? That's the guy from the beginning of the season that Aegon promised the money for to make the weapons.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the same guy.
I didn't realize. This whole time have been like, why are we following this fucking guy?
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, that's the original guy. He remember his wife keeps telling him, we need to run because you ain't getting the money now.
Yeah, that's right. That is the same guy.
Yeah, it's definitely him. Yeah. So
I was wondering
he's
too,
never
why are we
hinted that
seeing
he's
this
a
guy?
dragon
Why should
rider
we
or
care about him?
Targaryen or anything.
No, this is the very first time we have ever heard him say, "This is what my mother had told me." You know, like my father was a Targaryen, and da da da.
That's why I believed him immediately because I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! This is something he believes." Like,
but we also have two ends of the spectrum where I think it was really nice, where you have the one dude who was going around like, "Yeah, I'm brothers to Daemon and Viserys," and then you have this guy who is just trying to work nobly and provide for his family.
Basically, a blue collar guy.
And when finally push comes to shove, he's like, "Listen, I've got something to tell you. I am a Targaryen, and this could save our entire fucking life."
Yep.
I definitely like how that sets up.
Yeah.
Dude, because I was with Don though. I'm like, why should we care about this guy? What is going on with him? Why should we even care? But at first I thought he was just an average. He is just an average blue collar, and then you find out.
I have to go, gentlemen. I'm so sorry. Something just came up.
It's okay, not a problem, man. Go on ahead and handle what you have to do, man. Thank you for coming anyways. I do appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Again, thank you for having me.
Thanks. Not a problem.
Bye.
See ya. But, I definitely like how that gets set up. And then you get into King's Landing and Blackwater Bay. During a council meeting, Lord Jasper Wilde informs Aemon, the Prince Darren Targaryen, and his dragon treason are nearly ready to join the war. They are interrupted by a commotion occurring outside. If it is UF riding Silverwing over King's Landing, Aemon rushes out to Mount Vagar and pursues them to Dragonstone. However, he quickly retreats upon seeing Rhaenyra, Westeros, Verminor, and Silverwing, adult dragons, all now claimed by riders.
Dude, that shot is one of the best shots ever.
That is just fucking awesome, dude.
It's one of the best shots ever. Her just standing there, not even on the dragon, and them two just behind her landing, and the one landing, and I'm just like, yup.
It's like, come at me, bro. Come at me.
She's just straight like, come on, let's go.
Come on, you want your big ass dragon? Guess what? I got more than just one big ass dragon. I got like 4 or 5 of these things. So come at me, bro. Come at me.
It's one of my favorite shots from the whole show, man. Just her.
It's very cinematic for this to be a TV series, dude. This is very cinematic. Wide angle shots. It is perfect the way they set that up.
It is
hands down my favorite episode of this year. Aside from the dreams and stuff like that, this is the best episode right now. I don't know how the season finale is going to go or anything like that. But as far as Aemon actually being afraid of her now and being like, oh shit,
he's never been to afraid for sure.
No. Then once he sees what he sees, he's like, oh snap. But this is also going to fall back on Laris though now. Because now Aemon,
also I do want to point this out. The dragon wants to go.
Yeah.
He is the one saying, no, we got to go back. So he realizes what's going on. The dragon is the one that's like, oh, I can kill all of them. I'll kill every single one of them. So I am interested how that might play out in the future, because that's the first time we've seen a dragon almost defy the rider. Like go, no, I'm not doing.
He's after blood. It's like once I'm trying to think of a good example of this. Like once someone tastes blood for the first time, that's all they know. That's all they want to do is just go after somebody.
And look, I'm not saying the dragons are stupid by any means, because I don't think they are. I think they're very smart, but they are just their attack dogs in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not their purpose. Weapons. That's not their whole purpose. But in the long run, they do have to serve them, because that's what part of the, getting a dragon initiation is about, is they're saying serve, obey.
Right.
So
but
they're telling the dragon to obey them. So
I feel like this ever since Aemon went on ahead and killed his brother or his cousin. Mm-hmm. That's all that dragon knows now. So therefore he's going to go on ahead and instantly kill, because that's all he knows.
Yeah. No, it's possible for sure. So
that's just me theorizing.
I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out when we have an actual dragon war or battle in the sky. Is he gonna fucking realize when he's beat and move and fly away and to heal for a minute, or is he gonna just stubbornly die to 6 dragons around? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do yet.
Like, we know that he's bigger than the other dragons, but at the same time, though, can he handle all of them at one
Can he
time?
handle those 3 and Daemon? I don't know.
Right.
Because they're not as skilled as Daemon and Rhaenyra are on a dragon.
No.
But Daemon on a dragon is still scary to a bigger dragon, I would assume. Even that big of a dragon. So, and then with help, at least he can probably keep its attention enough where they can do some real damage. So, I don't know. I'm just so excited to see how this is going to play.
Me too. This is going to be awesome. All I want is a wide-angle shot of all the dragons around each other and just going ham. That's all I want.
I want to see that face-off, like where they're like all of her dragons are there, and then all of their dragons are at King's Landing, and they're just staring across the water at each other.
And then it cuts to black.
Yeah.
For season 3.
Yep. That's perfect. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I want to see it all.
That's pretty much everything that we wanted to cover as far as House of Dragon.
Yeah, find out my crazy ideas, guys. I just like to try to talk about things.
And talk some shit too while you're at it, though. Too.
That's fine.
But yeah, it makes it fun.
It's fine.
But I just want to thank everyone that has supported this after show and stuff like that, and giving us good vibes with it, especially that email that we got last week.
Yeah.
As well, that meant so much to us as well. Go on ahead, smash that like button, subscribe button, and everything if you really like how we're doing things here at Movie Lovers Unite. Another thing too is Don will be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time for a Cobra Kai review. So we cannot wait to dive into that. We're big, huge Cobra Kai fans. So we're going to dive into that tomorrow night. Don, what do you have going on at Multiverse of Geekdom?
We just finished our one-shot, D&D one-shot. It was called Camp Clearwater Massacre. It was basically a Jason-style fight where we had to fight a Jason-type monster that was chasing us around this camp in D&D. Really fun one-shot, guys. Please check that out. We also still have Geekdom Coliseum going on, which is another D&D thing that we were doing. But yeah, other stuff maybe coming soon. We don't know yet.
Okay. Well, guys, that's going to be it. Like I said, go ahead. If you like what you see, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Get your audio-only podcast at Movie Lovers Night, wherever you guys get your podcast from. Give me a 5-star review to tell us how we're doing here at Movie Lovers Night. And that's everything that's going on. Matter of fact, after all the episodes of House of the Dragon is happening, Rossie will be back with me. And we're gonna end up doing some stuff to get some more stuff together. My co-host will be back. But Monday we're actually gonna be reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine. Her and I are both doing it. She just now got to see the movie today, so this is gonna be a special segment just for her show. So go ahead and check that out on Monday night. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night. And we do appreciate you over here at Movie Lovers Night. And bye bye.